Welcome to Alumni in Action, the show that brings 1077 The Bronx past and present together through the voices of those who've created in our studios and gone to shape the world. Leaders, creators, innovators, and changemakers. From late-night studio sessions to early career moves, each episode dives into the stories that prove WRRC is just the beginning. Whether you're an alum, a student, or someone who believes in the power of community and ambition, you're in the right place. This is Alumni in Action.
Welcome to the first edition of Alumni in Action, 1077 The Bronx first ever video podcast. We are here to cover anything alumni, everything that they do after the fact, after they work at the Bronx. And today we have a very special guest, the creator of Wake Up Rider, current stand-up comedian and producer at 101.5 New Jersey, Rob Brown. Please, Rob, welcome.
Hey, how you doing today? Good?
Yep, I'm always good. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. I'm hanging in there. It's a nice, beautiful morning, getting a lot of weird memories being back here.
Yeah, I know. I mean, that's usually what a lot of people say that, like, come back in here after a while. They're like, holy crap, it has changed a lot, but at the same time, not at all, because John's still here, you know what I mean?
Oh, no, it's just like, I remember the whole, like, setup of these studios, and I remember the studio over here that used to be, like, my studio that I would work in, so it's very heartwarming to come back here.
Yeah, definitely. So we can just get right into it here. So for those who don't know, you did create Wake Up Rider. That was your thing. Was that like an independent study that you created, or you just came up with the idea?
So it was, I wanted to do like as much as possible when I was here. And I knew that I was doing a lot with production. I was doing a lot with promotions, and I wanted to learn more about stuff like being on the air. So it was actually an email that I sent to John Moses at like 2 a.m. Yes, it was after like a weekend of having fun in my apartment, and I was like, I'm just gonna write him this email, and I wrote him the email, forgot about the email, and he like talked to me that Monday, and he said to me, like, oh, we could definitely do something like that. And it was an independent study my second semester, my senior year, and it was for a grade. So that's why it was very like just me the first time, like really working on everything, because it was a senior project, what the specific term was. So
yeah, I mean, and when you created it, did you think that it was going to become like the most recognizable show at the radio station?
No,
that's really what it's become, especially these days.
No, I did not think it was going to be something like that. I mean, I wanted it to.
Yeah.
I was very nervous on like how everything was going to go after I was gone, because I was controlling everything. But to see how like there's all like a whole team for it. It's not just like me doing everything, and it would take me like the entire day to do everything. So to see that it's now like a team and there's like tons of people working on it, I think that works out a lot better.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I did not think it was going to be that. I mean, it went to the moon. It got nominated for stuff I remember seeing. So yeah, it was.
I'm pretty sure it won something for imaging, I believe, and
Really?
it's one of its commercials. Yes, I believe it won an IBS award for that.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely the most marketed and the most seen around and the most known show on campus. So, I mean, hats off to you. That's crazy that, you know, you're the creator of, you know, one of the biggest shows that's ever probably seen the radio station.
No, it's just we wanted something that you know, we could really keep here and really like, because I feel like that there was something that was missing without having the morning show here. So that's what I wanted to have. I wanted us to have like a morning show. I was researching tons of stuff about like college radio stations and radio shows, and so I said, like, why can't I just have something that's a little bit more official? Because I mean, I would have the usual where I would have my friends on, like on I had 1077 The Rob, and then I had the University Loudmouth, which was just my friends coming on, and just like a Saturday night at 7 p.m. and it would be like 5 dudes, and I would have to hit the dump button every single 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's
someone would curse.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have something a little bit more official. So that's when I came up with Wake Up Rider, and it was it was cool.
Dang, I mean, it almost feels foolish that you didn't have it before. Like, seeing that like what it is now, and it's almost like every radio station has a morning show. So it almost feels like, dang, like why didn't we have one before? It feels like it should have been made up years ago. But I actually found out from John that you were the one who created it back in 2022, which is just like crazy. And ended up giving it to Nick, and Nick took it all the way to basically through his senior year, and now they've got a whole team of people that really want to go on it. Like there's people that aren't on it that like really want to be on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It's very prestigious. Yes.
It's competitive to be on this show now?
Yes, it's competitive. Like people, like there's people that would like, they're like, oh, I just want to be on the writer so bad. Like they just really want to be on it.
What?
And it was Owen, Allie, and Nick when in my junior year here. And then my senior year, I heard like Nick was leaving into something and Owen didn't want to do it anymore. So they're like trying to find new people and everyone's like, oh, I want to do it. And then it's just like, it's crazy that
Wow.
you made something like that. You know what I mean?
I didn't think it was going to be that creative, like, or that competitive. Oh my gosh. I mean, when I had Nick on, that was actually not my decision. That was John's decision. John was like, you need to have this guy on. And I was like, what? Like, who is this? And that's hilarious. I had no idea because like I remember at first I was like, no, I don't want this kid on. Like in the back of my head, I was like, I do not want Nick on. But then I learned like having him on, it was a really good time, and I was able to really like teach him small things, and I fell in love with that, like really like teaching people about like the small things that we do here to make people more comfortable on the air as well.
Yeah.
So, wow, it's competitive now. Oh my.
Yeah, it's become quite the thing. I don't know how it did, but I've definitely heard of like people talking about it and being like, I really wish it just could be me and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
It's really hilarious.
Just
But
make your own. That's I mean, like that experience is just like it's more of like an official thing. So I mean, I understand why people would want to have more of like an official thing with it, but to me, like I wanted it to be an example of like where people can create like other shows. Like I thought there was gonna be other people doing stuff like that. But I mean, if it's just the way that it is right now, I mean, I don't mind that at all.
yeah.
So, I mean, I wanted it to be really cool. I wanted it to be something that we can really, I don't know, because when I was here, we used to like come in second place for the Marconi Award like every single year. So I always tried to think like, what is the missing piece that we need? Because John would always be like, oh, it was the website. And I'm like, yeah, it was definitely the website. It was the website.
It's always the website.
As he was doing. So, I mean, I wanted to create something like that. And it was, I had inspirations from, I mean, I used to watch the Howard Stern movie like 60 times. I watched it 60 times in my fraternity house. Like, I would just listen to a lot of stuff like back of like what people were doing. And I wanted to get us more involved in something like that because I knew we could do something like it because, I mean, look at us here.
I know.
And we also had like back then that was, I mean, I don't know if you guys still have the other podcasts that are with like other specific I forget what it's called.
Are you talking about like the Bronx Box Score and
Yes.
stuff like that? Like Master Your Finances and all that? Yeah.
Yeah, like I knew that we could produce shows like that, so I was like, oh, why can't we produce something like where it's all just writer news? And believe me, it did not go well the first time. I was doing traffic in Albany, New York. I did not get traffic right. Weather was not correct. So that was...
They're actually doing a Writer News one. They're starting up a Writer News one.
Really?
Yeah, actually, John just told me about it before we started this. Yeah, they're doing it's Jackie and Kalingo's running it and everything. So I think it's going to be these two students who are really, really good. They're great.
So glad that we are now bonding with the Writer News.
I know. I heard. Was there like a beef?
Yes.
Them back then?
Yes.
Like
there was people who used to call us a cult.
oh no, that still happens.
Oh my God.
That still happens. People still call us a cult. I get told it all the
The
time.
best way to say it is that we're the football team of Rider University. That's what I used to say to people. So,
I mean, yeah, we definitely need one, and I guess we could be that for them.
oh yeah.
But I mean, you mentioned experiences before we totally went off topic. Was there like a particular experience, maybe project that you did at the Bronx that you think gave you like almost an edge in your career now? Because you're decently successful in the media world, I would say.
Oh, I mean, it was the stuff that John would really tell me, which is like, do your job. That's the biggest one. Because like there's a lot of times like when you come here, it's a lot of like making friends and bonding with people. Because like that's kind of what I wanted when I first came here to Rider. I wanted to make friends. I wanted to be at the radio station. But to me, like you also have to look at the like business perspective of it, because John runs it the same way that like regular radio stations are ran. Like he just does like the sponsorship parts, because that's like a sales rep. Production director, there's production directors. So I wanted to, like, the more I did here, the more I fell in love with it. Because, like, I was promotions director my sophomore year. I didn't really like it. John knew that I didn't like it. So then I became the copy, like, director, the copywriter who writes all the commercials and stuff for the sponsors. And that was really cool. Like, I started to really, like, fall in love with, like, coming up with stuff by looking at their menus and coming up with, like, different characters or terms to help out with the commercial. And I think it was that, and then going into production director. To me, like, that stuff of, like, learning that if I can put in something and then something good comes out of it, that's what really, like, gave me that feeling of, oh, I can actually do this. So I mean, when it came to, like, getting positions in, like, the real world, I had a connection with the first radio station that I worked with here. John was the connection. I worked at Press Communications for a little bit. I did promotion stuff for them there, and that was cool. And then I saw a thing for Big Joe Henry for New Jersey 101.5, and I just put in my resume because of just the stuff that we've done here, because I just wanted to have like a Swiss Army knife in a way of all the different stuff that I can do, because that's what John taught us, that you have to be able to do as many different things.
Yeah.
So they really liked that about me. And it's just, if you just focus on, like, just doing your job and not being like, oh, do they like me? Are they my friends? Like, 'cause you're not there to be your friends. You're there to do, like, a job. So it's just like putting in stuff every single day to make yourself a little bit better. That's, like, stuff like this. This is what makes you a little bit better. I used to, like, to be more comfortable on the air, I would literally have my friends come in and we would turn on the microphones and we wouldn't record anything, but we would do exactly this. So, like, that's the stuff that, like, I used to do to, like, give myself, like, a little bit more.
Yeah.
I used to stuff like this. So
yeah,
I mean, that answers your question.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically it was just doing your job over and over again, and you just felt like you had the experience to continue doing it elsewhere and just start excelling elsewhere.
Yeah.
And so you're producer at 101.5 New Jersey. So what is something that, like what is the biggest difference between a professional radio station like that and a successful college radio station like the Bronx?
Well, I'm working with older people. I'm working with people who are, like, John's age, and it's a lot of, because, like, that's the cool, like, that was, like, the real tough part of, like, leaving this successful, like, college radio station, is that, like, everyone here has the same, like, motivation, fun. It's you're waking up early for Scream Screen. You're waking up early for Excellent Egg Hunt. You're doing stuff for this specific event, or, everybody is helping out in some way. And it's a really nice community. But then when you go to a, like, company, it's more of you're just there to do your job, and you're there to really just focus on what you can do to help out with the show.
Yeah.
So that's the really, like, difference of it, is that, I mean, I'm working with adults. Like, I'm for producing, it's I get the callers. It's a lot of multitasking. So it's kind of like multitasking here. Like, for instance, if you have one of those days, because, I mean, people who have worked at the Bronx knows that sometimes you come in here and it's just you and John and you're just hanging out and you're helping him do things.
Yeah.
That's how it kind of feels when you're working with people at New Jersey 101.5. It's like, okay, I'm getting their commercials, I'm getting the right callers who they want on, and just guiding them through the show. Because, like, that's what you have to do as a producer for, like, these types of shows, is that sometimes they'll come up with the topics, they will know what they want to talk about, but it's just guiding them through the show, of just, like, helping them through it, like timing out everything so then they don't go over, like, or they don't go for, like, too long or anything like that. So that's the big difference, is it's also people who have been working for a lot longer, so they're a lot more experienced. It's not like everyone here is very inspired and very, like, ready for the next step. Like, that was the really, like, cool thing that I missed, like, from being here, is that everyone was like, oh, I want to do something like this or like this. And then you go and you work at like this job, and it's, it's people who have been working for this amount of years, or like, when I went to 101.5, like, that was the radio station that I used to listen to when I was, like, 10. So I worked with people who I used to listen to, and that kind of freaked me out a little bit. I was like, I don't know, like who, that was something to get used to, and it was it got easier and easier because it's you see them every single day, and then you work with them for 4 to 5 hours a day. So, but yeah,
so you would probably compare it to like this type of college radio station is more like a club in a way, like that. Also happens to be a lot of work, and then like 101.5 place like that is more, it's just work.
Yeah, no, like I don't. They would think it's weird if I like finished up my show and I just sat there and I hung out with the producers, because that's what I used to do. I used to I used to finish up my show, and then I remember finishing up Wake Up Rider and John saying, "Hey, we have like a meeting at like 1 o'clock, so like you could do nothing until 1 o'clock." And I would do my work for Wake Up Rider, and then I'd fall asleep in the other room until the other meeting happened. So like if I did that, for instance, if I finished up with like what we're doing here, and then I was like, yeah, like I don't start until 2, so I'm gonna go nap in this other room, they'd be like, okay, all right,
yeah,
that's fine. So but that's just because like we're kids here.
Yeah,
we're kids having fun. Like this type of stuff that we have here, that's the cool part about like this radio station. There was a lot of other college radio stations that don't have this.
Yeah.
So when I like really learned that from like other college radio stations, because of people who I work with who are like my age, I'm like, oh, like we had it made back here. Like, so like that's what makes it really like, you miss it a little bit, because it's like, oh man, like there was so much stuff that we did that like no other people were doing, like Wake Up Rider, like stuff like that. So it's a little bit different, but it's work. It's okay. It's okay that you're not hanging out with the person right afterwards. So
yeah. Well, we're gonna take a quick break really quick. We will return after these underwriting announcements on 107.7 The Bronx and on our YouTube channel, 1077thebronx.com/alumni in action. Thank you very much, and we will be right back. All right, we are back here on 107.7 The Bronx, first ever video podcast, Alumni in Action, and we are here. We're back with Rob Brown. Welcome back once again.
You just call me looking at the camera.
Oh, sorry. No, I hit the face, man. Come on. All right, so we were talking about the differences between a professional radio station and a place like 107.7 The Bronx, which is a successful college radio station. You said it was a lot more fun. So, speaking of like kind of fun and your passions, you do so many things within the arts world currently. Do you think you have one that kind of stands above the others, like one that's your real true passion?
Oof. I mean, I love doing stand-up. That is something that I started doing that because there was a time where I think it was 2023, like December of 2023 to September of 2024, there was a time where I wasn't working at 101.5 because of just situations that were happening. I was working on a specific schedule, and I worked too many hours, so I couldn't work for a long time. And that was a lot of time of me doing nothing, and that was really, really like tough on like my mental health. So instead I was like, you know what, I got to do something that I've always wanted to try, always enjoyed, because I've been doing public speaking for like 10 years at this point, and I knew I always wanted to try stand-up comedy. So that was something that I tried June of 2024, and I've been doing since then. And I kind of said to myself, like, okay, I've done stuff like this before. I used to, at college here, I used to have a karaoke machine. So at parties, I would do stand-up comedy, and I would host the parties. So stuff like that I knew I can do on stage or at bars, because that's where I go to. I go to bars like for open mics and such.
Yeah.
So I really enjoy that because it's where I just get to go up and do like crowd work. I get to do maybe material. I get to it's not just me and someone just in a studio just hanging out.
Yeah.
I get to do it in front of a crowd. So it's
You're at a Catch a Rising Star, right?
Yes.
Yeah. I've been there a few times. It's really nice, honestly. Like I think it's a great place for especially like up and coming comedians to come and like just gain experience. Really, I know a couple guys that actually went here that were there. I don't think they're there anymore.
Nick Witt, I think he worked there for a little bit.
It was actually Liam Katz who there for a bit. Yep, I knew him.
Liam Katz. Don't know who that is.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah, he worked there for a bit. He was he went here for like a semester and then transferred, but I didn't know if he was still around there or something like that. But yeah, he was there around the same time you were there, so I was just trying to see if he still was there. That's hilarious.
No. But that place is, I mean, I got an opportunity from them because of the host that I work with. So this guy, Steve Trevelise, I work with from 7 to 11. He does shows there. He was like a stand-up host there for a little bit as well, so he got me to do some stage time there, which was really awesome. And then I got to start hosting shows there, so I got to do like 20 minutes on stage. That was really cool. So like small opportunities like that, you're absolutely right. It's a place where I'm able to be in front of like a real crowd, because there's a difference between like bar open mic crowds and then like an actual comedy club crowd where they're coming, they're sitting, they're eating food, they're drinking. So it's really cool to be in front of something like that compared to like something of like an open mic. So I love going there.
Yeah.
So I don't get to go there as much, but when I do, it's always a good time. So
yeah. So this kind of goes into my other question. Like, you would say that's like your favorite thing you've done post graduation?
Absolutely. By like 100%. By like, because I mean the first time I was doing stand up, I did like 100 mics in like 100 days. Like that's yeah, dude. I became obsessed with it. Like, cause there was nothing else. Cause there's a point that you'll like. I mean, it's a sad thing. Like when you're going a little bit older as an adult, where you're around like your friends here and you're around your friends in high school, but then there's a moment where everybody just moves on with their life, meaning like, okay, like I'm going to focus on work, so this is what I'm going to do. So I had a lot of friends from high school who moved away. I don't really live near any of like my college buddies. So instead of me being like, all right, I'm not going to do anything tonight, I'm just going to sit here, do nothing, I went and because I used to tell them all the time, I want to do stand-up, I want to do this, I want to do that. So instead of just like keep saying that to myself and not really doing it, I just went for it. You know, so that's kind of like the advice I always like telling people is like, if you do have something like in the back of your head that you really want to do, go for it. It's not, so what, you know, like there's many times I've bombed on stage. There's many times where I've done well on stage. So it's all about just like trying stuff in like your early 20s, I'm learning. So
yeah. No, yeah, I mean, that kind of goes in my next question. Like, what advice would you give current 107.7 The Bronx staff to basically prepare them of the life that comes after college?
Okay, so my advice to people is that follow your strengths and follow what you really love here. So for me, that was doing stuff on air as a host and finding stuff that you really want to do outside of this. So people who have like, I've been meaning to start like my own podcast, but I haven't done that because I've been doing stuff with stand-up. Like I've been doing stuff with, because like 101.5 is finally now giving me like real opportunities. Like I'll be producing today from 2 to 7, and then I'll be on the air with Steve Trevelise from 7 to 11. So like there's always something that you can do for yourself, and please do it. Like if you want to have like a literally like a 30-minute podcast where it's just you talking about sports, go for it. Like do it, please, because it's gonna make you feel better, and you're also gonna be improving more and more as you do it. Find inspiration. I mean, I found inspiration through researching old radio shows. I used to do that all the time. There's tons of stuff on YouTube, and to me, it's like, don't give up on that dream. Like, please do not, because like there's a lot of people where I've learned who have graduated, and I saw so much potential in people when I was here with them. I was doing stuff with them, and then they're doing something else. Like they're completely not even doing anything in radio, or they're not even like I had a friend who was in TV production with me, and he was in my fraternity, and I thought he was so good at everything, and he just didn't do that with me. So to me, it's really just following your dream and really do that. Like, go for it. It's okay to go for it. You're here, and the stuff that you're learning here at the Bronx it's really going to be worth it, because the big thing that I'll wrap it up with this is I used to say to myself, and I still say it to this day, what would John Moses do? And I say that to myself all the time. What would he do in this situation? And I go, okay. I sit down and I think about it. So,
all right. Well, I mean, that was absolutely awesome advice. Thank you so much for being here, Rob. Thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
And thank you for the insight into the media world, of course.
Oh, of course.
So that is it for the first edition of Alumni in Action. Thank you guys so much for listening. And catch us every Sunday at 8 a.m. That's when we'll be on the air. Thank you very much.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of Alumni in Action. If there's one thing we've learned today, it's that the 1077 The Bronx experience doesn't end at graduation. A huge thank you to our guests for sharing their journey, and to you, our listener, for being a part of the 1077 The Bronx community, wherever you are in the world. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to watch it on our YouTube channel at 1077 The Bronx WRRC-FM. Until next time, keep chasing your goals, honoring your roots, and taking action. Because once a Bronx, always a Bronx.